Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fitness Goal Friday. Today, we're going to talk about why training harder is not always better. Hey, what's up, y'all? And I am so stoked to talk about the topic today on why training harder is not always better. This is one of the most common errors that I see in the fitness industry as a whole. Whether that's from the client side or from the trainer side, this is one of the most common errors and one of the most common mistakes that is being made. And it's really to the detriment of a lot of different clients. There are a lot of trainers that I see, like back in 2019, I went to 52 different gyms in 52 different weeks. And there's a lot of different places out there, I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of places out there that don't have all that much intention behind their workouts. A lot of times, the workouts are designed to make the client feel like they got the best workout possible, meaning that their heart rate was elevated the entire time and the workout absolutely killed them. And so a lot of times clients leave workouts thinking that was super hard. My heart rate was elevated the entire time. I'm hurting. I'm really sore the next day. So that means that was that was a great workout. That was the best workout for me. When it's like, no. That is not the case. The reason why so many people have this false notion or why training harder is not better is because harder, quote, harder to a lot of people is just your elevated heart rate. People a lot of times just perceive something as being harder if their heart rate is elevated for a longer period of time. And that's not what we should be going for. Like, there are so many benefits to training at a suboptimal heart rate. Not, I guess suboptimal is not the right word, but not your max heart rate, but the middle zone, right? Your aerobic zone. There's so many different biological and physiological benefits to spending time in the middle heart rate zone. And then especially if you're weight training, like if you're training for strength, then there's a lot of times where your heart rate is not going to get elevated. And there's a lot of trainers out there who just like to throw burpees at people just because it makes them feel like it's really hard and it gets their heart rate elevated and makes them hurt. And so they leave there being like, oh man, that was really hard. And that trainer must be really good because that workout was really hard. And my back is hurting the next day and everything hurts the next day. So that means it was a really good workout. It's like, no. Oftentimes, if workouts are properly designed by the trainer, you're not always going to be super sore the next day. Now, sometimes you will be, especially if you're training early on and haven't done a whole lot of training in the past. Like the first few workouts are going to be a little bit more, you're going to be a little bit more sore than as your body moves forward and it is adapting to the fatigue and the load that you're putting on it. But you're not always going to be super, super sore every single time if the programming is appropriate and the programming is specific to you. So don't always think that the more sore and the higher your heart rate and the harder it was and the more you hurt, that the workout was necessarily better. And the way that I think that I realized this the most is when I originally started my 1 mile run goal on my own. I originally thought, okay, I want to run a sub 5 minute mile and I feel like I kind of know how to do it. I'm going to start. And I did this specific workout. I'll never forget. I did this specific workout where I was doing an 18-minute run and I was going to do 6 minutes at a 9.5 miles per hour. 6 minutes at a 10 miles per hour, and then another 6 minutes at 10.5 miles per hour. And that's exactly what it did. But that workout sucked. Like, I hurt so badly during that workout. My heart rate was elevated. My legs were tired. Everything hurt. Like, that workout was so hard. But then after I realized when I hired a run coach to actually help me do this, like, that was just so dumb. That was not the optimal training, the most effective training, the most efficient training to allow me to run a faster mile. Sure, that was going to help me run at that pace for that longer period of time, but that wasn't the best thing suited for me to improve my 1 mile run time. Instead, I needed to do longer pace runs and then I needed to do some speed workouts. Like the combination of those two, the long runs and the speed workouts, that was the optimal training to allow me to decrease my 1 mile run time. And that's exactly what I did. So I was pushing myself harder than I actually needed to. And that wasn't going to allow my body to adapt to me being able to run a faster mile. So harder wasn't better, smarter was better. Now, those track workouts were certainly not easy. Those were hard too, but you need to make sure that you're training optimally, and it's not just hard, but it's actually smart as well. And then the other thing in regards to your muscles being able to perform optimally and bring max intensity is a lot of people think that they need minimal rest time during their workout. A lot of people think that as long as I'm sweating, as long as I'm feeling tired, then I'm getting a really good workout. But if you're trying to bring maximum intensities, maybe that's bringing a maximum intensity sprint on the treadmill or outside. Maybe that's being able to bring a maximum intensity weight choice that you're trying to lift. Your body, your muscles need recovery before leading into that super heavy lift or that super high intensity run, because the energy system that is going to afford the body the ability to perform at its peak levels of intensity gets burnt out really quickly and takes a long time to recover. So the energy system might have already been used. Like if you're doing a lot of sprints, then the energy system has already been used and depleted. It needs oftentimes 90 seconds minimum, probably more like 2 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes, 4 minutes sometimes, to be able to restore so that you can produce the same level of intensity, that same max effort the next time around. So I coach Orange Theory, and a lot of people will think that instead of walking, I'm just going to jog. When it's like, no. Like that's not the purpose of this workout. That's not the purpose of this block. That's not the purpose of the training for today. The purpose is to let your body recover. Even if you feel like you fully recover and your heart rate's low, let your body recover so that you can bring your max intensity, because there's so many benefits to bringing your max intensity. So harder is not always better. There needs to be intention behind it. It needs to be smart. And yes, of course, you need to train hard, but it needs to be smart as well. And so don't just think if your heart rate's elevated the entire time, if you're hurting like crazy, if you burned the most calories, if you did the most burpees, if you hurt the most the next day, that doesn't mean that that was the best workout possible. It needs to be smart and have intention behind it. So whether you're working out by yourself, whether you're going to a class, whether you're going to a trainer, make sure there is intention and there is purpose behind doing what you're doing. It's not just hard for the sake of being hard, but it has intention and purpose behind it, revolved around what your goal is. That last part is key. Intention and purpose behind your training revolved around what your actual goal is. I hope you guys enjoyed this today, and I hope you learned something, and I hope that you take something that I talked about today into your next workout. Meaning that you don't just try to kill yourself. You don't just try to keep your heart rate elevated at a maximum level the entire time. That is like, sure, you're going to burn more calories during your workout probably, but you have to realize that that's probably, you're going to burn 50, 100, maybe 150 more calories during your workout by keeping your heart rate at a max level compared to if you let it drop. But what you have to realize is the number of calories that you burn during your workout is a fraction of the number of calories that you're going to burn the rest of the day. And you're going to leave your body in a worse state so that in future workouts, you're not going to be able to optimally perform. Therefore, not going to be able to burn as many calories. Therefore, not going to be able to recover, and therefore setting yourself up for injury. So harder is not always better. Make sure there's intention behind your workout. That's going to allow you to get your best workouts possible, and that's going to allow you to get closer and closer to your best you.